Okay, welcome back. Then the second factor to consider is the impression desired. So if you need something which is of colors, you will not use the photocopying machine, but you will go for the printing, which will come up with the colors. That's another factor to consider. The next, the number of copies. If there are many numbers needed or number of copies needed, then you will not go for the carbon copy. Carbon copy is just convenient for only few copies, but for photocopying machine, for the printing machine, it is allowing what? It's allowing many copies. Then the next, the quality of copies desired. If you need a quality of copies, then you will choose, like you will choose, for example, you choose the duplicating machines, one of them ink or spirit. Then if you are not considering any of the quality, then you will go for photocopying or you go for maybe carbon copying, etc. And another one is availability of the skilled personnel to do the reproduction work. So if you realize that before you purchase or before you decide on the method of production you're going to use or production or document you're going to use, first you are supposed to look at in that your farm of yours or that farm of yours, you're supposed to look at, do you have the people who are going to maybe use the expertise, those people who are having the skill on how to operate those. For example, offset lithography, the one used for printing. Of course, you cannot just bring it when you don't or when you are not sure of a person who knows how to use it. So that's another factor you can consider before you purchase or before you decide on the method of reproducing documents you're going to choose. Then the next, the reproduction cost. Of course, most of the people will always go for the cheap or the affordable one. Not cheap, but affordable one. And there's a saying that says that cheap is expensive. I hope you also can witness that. But then, in the business, we don't say cheap, we say affordable. Because you will not budget something ahead or something more than your budget. As far as business is concerned, it will maybe interfere with your budget or with the profit margin within the company. So if you are that businesswoman, you are that businessman, you want to come up with a method of producing documents in your office, you look at the one which is affordable to you at that time. Then the next one is the last factor to consider is the availability of the means of production. If it's available, don't go for the machine which is not available in Kenya. Don't go for the machines which will take you time to acquire one. Go for the one which is readily available to make your time easy, to make the operation of the business easy, so that you don't waste time. So that's another factor that could be considered by a person who is in need of starting or producing documents. Then after that, let's go to the third method of reproducing documents. Please, the one that we are discovering, the one that we are talking about, the ink, the stencil, or the one that we are talking about, the printing, all of those are under what? They are under duplicating machine. First we started with the carbon copy machine, then after that duplicating. Under duplicating we have very many, like 5 of them, the one we have talked about. Then the third method of producing document is filing. That's another third one. So do not get confused. If you look at the notes, if you look at the books, you'll see them, they are separated properly. So filing is the third one. So what is filing? Filing is simply putting document in a file. You could be maybe doing it electronically by opening a file on the watch, on the laptop or on the computer, and securing or maybe storing your files on that. But also you can do it manually by simply putting your papers or putting your documents in a file. That is what filing is. So filing refers to the process of classifying, and when you are putting them, you classify them, you arrange them, arranging and storing documents so that they can be easily obtained or retrieved when required. When you have a file of maybe chemistry, you have a file of business, you have a file of history, you have a file of maybe biology, it makes it easy for you to retrieve or to maybe obtain whatever information you want. Just look at it this way. Let's say that if you could have been having one file for every subject, let's say that you want to revise maybe business, it will take you a lot of time to get papers for business inside that file. But if each and every files are having different subjects, then that's make it easy for you to obtain whatever you wanted to obtain. Then after that, filing system. Filing system is a style of managing files in an organization. There's something also to add on, there's something also to understand. We talk about the filing. We have a filing system, which is the style of managing these files in an organization. Then there are two types of filing system, namely, we only have two. The first one is known as the centralized filing system. Centralized means that you place them into one. And I'm going to explain that because they are explanation which are revealed. Then the next is decentralized filing system. So these are the methods of filing system that you have within organization, or types of filing system that you have within an organization. Centralized and decentralized filing system. So what is centralized filing system? This is a filing system where one department has the responsibility of managing all. That's why I was saying that only one is controlling all the files. So this is a system where one department has the responsibility of managing all the files in the whole organization. So if the organization only has one person to manage all the files within one computer, that is known as centralized filing. But when the files are divided into different departments, whereby we have got maybe managerial department, maybe we have got human resource department, maybe we have accounting, and etc. So that is known as decentralized, and we are going to talk about. First, let's look at the advantages of managing files centrally, whereby it's only managed by one department. One advantage of that is that it will ensure uniformity in the filing. There's uniformity, there's what? Arrangement in a form that they are uniform. That is what that point means. Then the next, well-trained and skilled personnel can be employed to do filing. So when it is managed by only one person, that requires somebody who is well-trained. And that well-trained person, for that point, or that filing system, advocate for the organization, employing somebody who is well-knowledge or well-equipped in management of the file. And basically here we are talking about keeping it on the word online, or not online but e-word filing, whereby we use the computer, etc. Then the next, easy to supervise and control filing activities of staff. So when they are only they are only controlled by one person, then it's easy for somebody to supervise and also control them, all the activities that are taking place within them. Then another one, it is more economical in buying file improvement. So if they are only in one place, then that means that's economical. You do not require you to buy different what? Categories of places that you are supposed to, or different offices, or different files. So that those are the advantages of centralized filing system. Then after that, let's look at the demerits or limitations. Business patients always come with different words, like disadvantages and demerits. There are also limitations or challenges. So if they ask you to give the limitations of a centralized filing system, do not get mesmerized, do not get surprised that which kind of question are these. They are just talking about the main thing there is disadvantages that they need them. Then advantages are the merits. The merits, it always come the merits or benefits of using centralized system of filing in an organization. Then let's look at the disadvantages. One is that only few people in the organization will know how the system operates. Only few people, meaning that very many people will not be aware of how the file look like, how the files are, and how they work. And that is sometimes bad because sometimes those people who knew or some people who know will not be around, and therefore it will make the time or will make the people to stop unless these people show up. Then the next, deny staff in order, deny staff in other departments the opportunity to train and acquire filing skills. So other departments, when the file is being controlled by only one person, other departments in our organization will be denied that opportunity to learn the skills and the filing system. The next, accessing files and documents may take long due to the filing being attached elsewhere. So sometimes it becomes difficult for people to access. Access means that get the file where they are, because the large filing system is very big and many documents inside there, you cannot get them at that faster rate you wanted. Then the file may not be traced quickly. In case the file tracking system is poor, if there is no tracking file system, they are placed or grouped in one big pool of files. Sometimes when the tracking system is poor, then it's a mess already in that condition. That's a disadvantage with the centralized filing system. It may lead to what? Misfiling of document. It may lead to misfiling document. Then after that, we have the decentralized department. This is where now file, I think I will explain that, file are categorized into different departments. In each and every different departments, they are accountable for their own activities on the files that they are having. So filing system, this is filing system whereby each department is responsible for their own filing. And the benefits of decentralized, what are the advantage of that? Files and documents can be accessed faster. More staff members have the chance. You see, they're just the opposite of the disadvantage of the centralized. The chances of misfiling documents are minimized, and also documents can be filed properly and immediately. So the work that I'm giving you, just look at the disadvantage, wastage of space, you see, and also supervision and maybe control may be difficult, etc. So that marks the end of our lesson today. Otherwise, have a nice time.